Welcome to Furniture Industry News, your go-to source for the latest updates impacting furniture professionals across the country. I'm here to bring you the key stories you need to know to stay ahead in our ever-changing industry. Let's start with some positive news from the retail front. The Department of Commerce just released May sales figures, and furniture and home furnishings showed the strongest growth among all retail categories. Sales jumped nearly 9% compared to last year, hitting $11.75 billion for the month. This marks the third straight month of growth above 7%, which is encouraging news for everyone in our industry. What's driving this growth? It looks like Memorial Day weekend played a big role, but there's another factor at work here. Many consumers appear to be buying furniture now to get ahead of potential tariff-related price increases. Speaking of tariffs, they're having a real impact on how people shop and think about spending money. A new survey shows that nearly 9 out of 10 consumers are worried about tariffs and their effects. About two-thirds are concerned about higher prices on everyday goods, and almost half are worried about price increases on non-essential items like furniture. What's really telling is that 8 out of 10 people say they plan to change how they shop because of these tariffs. Nearly half plan to cut back on non-essential purchases, and about one-third say they'll delay big-ticket items like furniture. This consumer behavior is creating some interesting dynamics in our supply chain. Container shipping rates have been all over the place lately. After 4 weeks of steep increases, rates have now stabilized at around $3,500 per container. The shipping index surged 59% over the past month as trade resumed following changes in tariff policies. Rates from Shanghai to New York are up 67% over the past 4 weeks, while rates to Los Angeles have climbed 89% since mid-May. Companies are adapting their strategies to deal with these challenges. Bassett Furniture's CEO Rob Spillman recently shared how his company is handling the tariff situation. While most of Bassett's finished products are made in the United States, the real impact hits at the component level. Motors, mechanisms, and fabrics often come from overseas, so they have had to break down their supply chain piece by piece to develop specific strategies for each product category. They've introduced selective price increases and targeted tariff surcharges, but they've been strategic about it rather than taking a blanket approach. They're also expanding sourcing to countries like Vietnam and India to reduce dependence on any single market. The mattress industry is facing particularly tough times right now. The latest data shows the total mattress market dropped 5.7% in dollars and over 11% in units during the first quarter compared to last year. Total sales fell to $2.4 billion from $2.5 billion, with about 8.7 million units sold compared to 9.7 million units in the same period last year. The International Sleep Products Association points to slowing economic growth, policy uncertainty, and stubborn inflation as the main culprits. This challenging environment has led to significant changes across our industry. Since June of last year, we've seen at least a dozen major players either shut down facilities or announce closure plans. More than 1,600 employees have been affected as companies deal with soft demand and overcapacity. Big names like Serta Simmons Bedding, Corsicana Mattress, and Hooker Furniture have all closed or announced plans to close facilities. Serta Simmons is closing its California factory this summer, affecting 180 employees. This will be the 7th factory the company has closed since 2022. Ashley Furniture closed the resident home factory in Indiana, laying off 106 workers just a year after acquiring the mattress brand. These moves are part of broader efforts to improve efficiency and consolidate operations in a tough market. On the retail side, companies are also making major changes. Kirkland's just announced they're rebranding as the Brand House Collective and planning significant changes to their store footprint. They're dealing with continued soft consumer sentiment and struggles with their e-commerce business. Their first quarter sales dropped 11%, with e-commerce sales falling over 26%. They plan to move forward with about 290 stores as their foundation and will start converting existing Kirkland stores to Bed Bath & Beyond home locations, starting in Nashville this August. There's also some important safety news to be aware of. The Consumer Product Safety Commission just announced a recall of over 16,500 mattresses sold on Amazon and Walmart. The Oliver & Smith 6-inch hybrid mattresses violate mandatory flammability standards and pose a fire hazard. While no incidents have been reported yet, consumers have been asked to contact the manufacturer for a free fitted cover to bring them into compliance with safety standards. Not all the news is challenging, though. La-Z-Boy reported growth in both their fourth quarter and full-year sales. Their quarterly sales increased 3% to $571 million, and they've seen 4 consecutive quarters of growth. They've been expanding their company-owned store network and now own over 200 stores, which is nearly double their count from 10 years ago. They're also investing heavily in their supply chain and distribution network. Looking ahead, there are some interesting developments in online retail that could affect furniture sales. Amazon is expanding Prime Day to 4 days this year, running from July 8th through 11th. This is the first time the event will last 4 days, and they're targeting younger shoppers with special incentives for the 18 to 24 age group. A survey shows that 84% of adults plan to shop during Prime Day, with shoppers planning to spend an average of $430. Interestingly, 1 in 5 shoppers say they'll use Prime Day as a way to offset rising costs due to tariffs. There's also some positive news for social media marketing in our industry. TikTok got another 90-day reprieve from the ban, which means the platform's 170 million users can continue exploring home decor trends like thrift talk and dopamine decor throughout the summer. This gives furniture and home decor companies more time to leverage this important marketing channel. As we wrap up today's update, it's clear that our industry is navigating some significant challenges, from tariff impacts and supply chain disruptions to changing consumer behavior and facility closures. But we're also seeing companies adapt with smart strategies, and there are pockets of growth and opportunity. The key takeaway is that successful companies are being strategic rather than reactive. They're diversifying their supply chains, adjusting their pricing thoughtfully, and focusing on what they can control while preparing for continued uncertainty. That's all for today's furniture industry news. If you found this update helpful, please subscribe to our podcast to stay current on all the developments affecting our industry. Until next time, keep adapting and keep growing.